Welcome to Pacific Northwest Outdoors. My name's Chris, and today we're doing our first tool review, and it's a tool review of the Fiskars pruning saw. So I'm a big believer in having the right tools for the right job, and one of the missing items in my tool repertoire, if you will, has been not only a pruning saw but a pole saw. So I bought a pole saw, and I've never used one before, but we're going to try it out and see how it works. But first, where exactly does a pruning saw fit in when it comes to taking down branches? Well, from the smallest to the largest, the first thing you'll have is pruners. So pruners are for very small kind of detail work, just small twigs and little branches, you know, nothing more than about a half an inch at the most. From there, we move up to loppers. Loppers are good for anywhere up to branches probably about an inch to an inch and a half in diameter. And pruners and loppers are something that I use almost every time I go out working around the yard. Then we have a space in the middle, and then we have larger stuff which you would need a chainsaw or some sort of similar device for. So for the stuff in the middle, what I'm missing here is a pruning saw. A pruning saw is for branches that are probably 3 to 4 inches in diameter, and something that you'd want to take down just quickly and efficiently without having to go out and get your chainsaw, gas it up, you know, put in the chain lube and then fire it up and run it. And if you don't want to deal with all that, it's probably most efficient just to have a tool that sort of bridges the gap between loppers and the chainsaw, and that would be a pruning saw. Now, I don't have a pruning saw. I will probably get one at some point, though. What I had more need for, though, was some way to get up to the higher branches. So essentially, a pole saw is a pruning saw that's on a big long pole, and the one I got is right here. This is from Fiskars. I got this at Home Depot for $39.95 or something like that, just about 40 bucks. It's got a 15-inch blade for cutting wood, and it extends to, I believe, 15 or 16 feet. In addition, it has these built-in loppers right here, so you can pull this down over a branch and then pull this, and it will like slice the branch off up high. So you've got one for the smaller branches, and then you've got the 15-inch blade for the larger branches. So far, it feels pretty well made. I'm a little curious how well this works. It doesn't seem like this string and pulley system is spectacular, but we'll see. Then it's got this snap lock here, which seems pretty robust. It's difficult to open, but when you open it, you can then extend it out and close it off. So I'm going to be working on this tree that you see right behind me. As you'll notice, these branches are almost touching the ground, and I'd like to get them up off the ground so that it sort of opens up the view. I can see back into the woods behind this tree. And then I've got a few other trees around the property that are in desperate need of trimming, but the branches are way too high up for me to reach with a lopper or the chainsaw. So that being said, let's try it out and see how it works. Okay, so before we get started, let's take a look at what we're dealing with. This is the underside of the tree in question. It's probably 12 feet up to the branches that I want to take down, and I'm probably going to take down this little cluster here, this one here, and then depending how it works, I'm probably going to take out these two up here as well. You know, you could probably get on a ladder, you know, some sort of extension ladder, get it up there, and then just saw it off with a pruning saw, but I figured that this is probably a little bit better, and who wants to lug a ladder out? But as you can see, if I shift it around here, there's the branches I'm going to cut, and you follow them down, and they go almost all the way to the ground. So especially when it rains, they are dragging right on the ground, and I'd like to just open this up so that I can get a nice view into the woods beyond this tree And there's also some other ones in my driveway that dip down so low when it rains, it scrapes on the hood of the car, or the top of the car as we drive by. Okay, so the final thing would be safety precautions. Since you're cutting something way up high, you of course want to wear eye protection and gloves. And then really, you just want to make sure there's no electrical wires, which there aren't any electrical wires here. And you also want to make sure that when you're using the pole saw, you're not standing directly beneath where the tree limbs are going to fall. So it seems like kind of a no-brainer, but those are really the only safety precautions to worry about with this tool. So, all right, let's get started. One down. Okay, so here is the after. So tree looks a lot better. The branches aren't scraping on the ground anymore, and I've really opened up the view past the tree, deeper into the woods there. So this is the brush pile that I made. All of these branches here, basically start to finish, that took me about 10 minutes. Really wasn't that bad at all. Amount of effort was probably moderate. Definitely worked up a little bit of an exercise, increased the heart rate and all that, which is good. But it also was interesting. So what I found with this saw is that it's not a push and pull, it's really a pull only. So all of the work as far as cutting those limbs was just all in the pull stroke, and then you'd sort of just push it back up, and it didn't cut going forward, but it would cut coming off the branch towards you. And that was pretty good. Now, for the lower branches where it was not extended at all, it was a lot easier. But as it got up into the higher branches, like these ones up here, see, that was probably the biggest one I did. That was the most difficult one, because not only was it probably about 3-4 inches in diameter, but that one's probably, gosh, 12-15 feet up, and so I had to extend the pole saw probably about 3/4 of the way extended. I didn't have it fully extended, but it was probably 3/4 of the way out. And when you pull on it, I don't know if it was just the angle I was at or what, but when I was pulling on it, because it was extended, it was sort of bowing a little bit where it extends up. So all in all, though, I'm pretty happy with it. It's I would say a good $40 investment. Definitely worth it to get these limbs down and open up the view. And now comes the problem of actually dealing with this huge pile of limbs. They are massive, so that's going to be a fun cleanup project here. That's the next step. Go throw these on the old brush pile. Oh, one more thing. I did find a couple of smaller branches around the back that I was able to use the lopper attachment on, and the lopper actually worked a little bit better than I expected it to. So it was pretty smooth, cutting through branches that were probably about 3/4 of an inch, no bigger than that. But it worked on those, did a great job. It sliced cleanly right through them. Hopefully it'll keep that up through the life of the tool. What I've found with these Fiskars tools that you get from Home Depot is that they really only have about a 4 or 5 year lifespan, and then you got to probably go buy another one. So anyways, that was it. That is the Fiskars. I think it's a 14-foot or 15-foot extension pole saw. All right, time to clean up. Hey everybody, this has been Pacific Northwest Outdoors. My name's Chris, and if you liked the video you just saw, please click the like button. I would really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos, please click subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and cheers.